Pema Chödrön's When Things Fall Apart is a spiritual and psychological guide to navigating pain, uncertainty, and loss. Rooted in Buddhist teachings but accessible to all, the book offers deep wisdom for anyone who feels like their life is unraveling. Rather than trying to fix suffering or escape discomfort, Chödrön teaches us to lean into it, to be present with it, to learn from it, and to transform through it. The book begins with a radical idea: what if pain and fear aren't problems to solve, but opportunities to wake up? Chödrön suggests that the very things we try to avoid, grief, anxiety, heartbreak, are the gateways to self-awareness and compassion. Instead of resisting, she invites us to sit with our discomfort, to feel it fully without judgment or panic. At the heart of the book is the Buddhist concept of groundlessness. Chödrön explains that life is inherently uncertain. The idea that we can secure ourselves, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, is an illusion. Rather than clinging to stability or control, she encourages us to embrace the groundless nature of reality and find peace within it. She tells stories from her own life and from ancient Buddhist texts, using them to illuminate core ideas like impermanence, suffering, and the ego. These teachings are never abstract, they're woven into real experiences: heartbreak, confusion, loneliness, and presented with deep compassion. Chödrön doesn't offer a quick fix. She offers truth. A recurring message is the importance of staying present. Often, we avoid pain by numbing out, through distractions, overthinking, or denial. But the more we avoid, the more we suffer. Chödrön teaches the practice of Shenpa, a Tibetan term for the feeling of being hooked or triggered. Recognizing Shenpa helps us pause before we spiral into harmful reactions. The book encourages us to pause in those moments of emotional heat, to breathe, to return to the body, to stay with ourselves. This pause isn't passive, it's a courageous act of choosing presence over panic. Over time, we learn to soften our habits of resistance and open ourselves to what life is actually offering. Chödrön also speaks about compassion, not only for others, but for ourselves. When things fall apart, we often judge ourselves harshly. We think we should be stronger, more put together. But this self-aggression only deepens our suffering. She urges readers to meet themselves with gentleness, especially in moments of pain. Meditation is a core tool in her teachings. Not as a way to escape the world, but as a way to become intimate with it. Chödrön explains simple mindfulness practices that help anchor us in the present. She describes how sitting with your thoughts, without pushing them away, can slowly dissolve the grip of fear and ego. One beautiful theme throughout the book is the idea of befriending ourselves. When everything falls apart, we meet the raw parts of our being. Rather than rejecting these parts, our sadness, jealousy, insecurity, Chödrön asks us to sit with them as we would with a scared friend. This creates the space for real healing. The book doesn't avoid talking about death, endings, or despair. Instead, Chödrön brings light to these dark places. She suggests that by accepting death, not just literal death, but all forms of ending, we open ourselves to deeper aliveness. This is part of the Buddhist teaching on impermanence: everything changes, and that's not a flaw, it's the nature of existence. A chapter that stands out addresses the cultivation of fearlessness. Chödrön defines fearlessness not as bravado, but as staying with what is. She teaches that true courage is born from vulnerability, from being able to stay present even when we're scared or uncertain. Her tone is never preachy. There's no promise that life will be easy or that meditation will fix all your problems. But there is deep reassurance that if you can learn to stay with yourself during the hardest moments, those moments will become your teachers. They will guide you into deeper wisdom. Another key concept is the abandonment of hope, not in a nihilistic way, but as a way to let go of expectations and just be with what is. Chödrön encourages readers to drop the hope that life will always be easy or that we'll one day arrive at perfect peace. In that letting go, there is freedom. As the book progresses, she touches on Tunglen, a compassion practice in which you breathe in the suffering of others and breathe out relief. This practice is an antidote to isolation. It connects us with the shared pain of being human. It's a way of using our suffering as fuel for empathy. By the end, When Things Fall Apart leaves the reader with a quiet sense of strength. Not the kind of strength that comes from conquering the world, but the kind that comes from standing still when the world falls apart. It's a book that doesn't shy away from pain, but instead gently shows us how to let that pain break us open, rather than break us down.